There we go. There it is. Okay. Like I said earlier, I taught this the other day, but I didn't give you any problems to do on it, so I thought I would just do a little review, then I'll give you some homework problems, and then we'll move on to the next thing. This is the last thing that I've already taught, right? Because I already taught the difference of two squares, so I kind of taught that twice. The perfect square, I only taught it once, right? Just yesterday. But then after that, you're really, really going to want to pay attention. We're kind of doing the special ones first, all right? That's what I call them. I don't think the book says they're special ones, but I think they're kind of specialty factoring type problems.
Would Laura Smith Main please go to Mrs. Enos' classroom? Also, reminder, middle school teachers, please take the first 5 minutes to let the students vote for the cheerleaders. Thank you.
All right, so watch. X cubed plus a cubed. What is this? Like the name of it. What would I name this right here? This is the blank, 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 whatever. How many blanks you have? What do I call this? It's right in front of you. It's the sum of two cubes. Very good. Why is it the sum of two cubes and not the difference of two cubes? Because it's being added. Okay, exactly. Not hard questions. All right, just seeing if you're awake. All right, this is the sum of two cubes. We have a little formula for the sum of two cubes. And this is the hardest part about doing this. The hardest part about doing this thing is remembering the little formula. We got two parentheses, but the first one's a little shorter, right? And the second one's a little bit longer because we're only going to put two things in the first parentheses. We're going to put three things in the second parentheses. So that's what I do first. Whenever I see a sum of two cubes, I put two parentheses, a shorter one and a little bit longer one. Everybody good so far? Yeah. Okay. Do you remember what I tried to put in there first? I put in the signs first. And there's a little way that I came up with that you can remember what signs go in here. So there's going to be a sign right here. There's going to be two signs. There's going to be one here and one here. What do I mean by signs? What does that mean? Yeah, plus or minus. Yeah, plus or minus, okay? So what's going to go here? Why? Because it's the same sign. That's right. Do you remember what I did? I said this sign is going to be the same, this one's going to be opposite, and this one's always going to be, nope, positive. Well, okay, addition, yeah, but P, S-O-P, for same, opposite, positive. Can you remember that, S-O-P? Did anybody remember that from the other day? Okay. So this is the same sign. The same sign as what? As this one right there. So that's where we start, okay? This is the same sign as this. So what's this going to be? Plus, right. Timmy said it already, but that's why. All right. What's this going to be? Minus, because it's the opposite of this. And this one, every single time for both of these, it's always going to be what? Plus. Everybody got it? So that's important. So I don't sit there and just memorize the formula. Okay, I remember little things about it. Okay, the two parentheses, the same, opposite, positive, and now we're going to put some numbers in here. All right? So do you remember what we put here and here? Actually, just here and here. Yeah, you just put the X and the A, whatever the letters are. Okay, whatever's being cubed, I should say. Okay, whatever is being cubed, I just put right here. So what's being cubed? X is. What's being cubed here? A is. So I just put an X and an A. Can you remember to do that? Yeah. Okay. So I would do this for a lot of these problems that I'm going to give you on the homework. I would write this thing out every time because that'll help you memorize it. All right. Now what goes here now? Now remember, I'm multiplying these through. So X times what is going to give you X cubed? X squared. So that's going to be an X squared. I could put the middle one in, but I always like to do this one and this one at the same time, basically. So this is X squared. What do you think this is going to be? It's going to be A what? Squared. Okay? Why? Because this A times this A squared has to give you A cubed. Would you agree? So it can't just be an A because A times A would be A squared. This is A cubed. So if this is A, that has to be A squared. Now, what do we do to get that middle thing? We just multiply the A and the X, okay? You could say XA, it'd be fine, but we usually write AX. It is the same thing, but we usually write it like that. Is that something you think you can memorize? Yeah. It needs to be, because if you can't, you won't get the problem right, all right? So you got to memorize it. But I think I went through it in a nice way for you to remember how to do it. But you got to practice it. You got to write it down. If you go a few days and you don't write it down, you're going to forget it. All right, so make sure that you know that. Now, that's the sum of two cubes. Let's do the difference of two cubes. I'm taking a lot of time on this because this is the most important thing, I think, to know how to do, is know what the little formula is. All right, if you know the formula, then it's kind of easy to actually do the factoring. So what do? Put my two parentheses. I make the second one a little bit longer than the first one because 3 things have to go in the second one. Only 2 things have to go in the first one. I like to do the signs first. So it's same, opposite, positive. So what's the same? Minus. What's the opposite? And this is always what? Plus. Everybody good with that? Same, opposite, positive? I should trademark that. I think that's pretty good. I've never seen anybody say that, but I came up with that myself. All right. So let's put the stuff in. And look, it's the same exact letters in the same exact order. The only thing difference between the difference of two cubes and the sum is the signs. That's the only thing different. Everything else is exactly the same. So what goes here? X and a. What goes here? X squared and a squared. What goes in the middle? Ax. And that's it. So that's, to me, that's the most important thing that we need to know in order to do these problems. There's other things that get a little bit tricky, but that's the most important thing, that you know both of those. All right? You got to know them. I will not put that on the quiz. Okay? I will not put these formulas on there. You have to know the formulas. All right? That's being recorded. I can go back and look and tell you, I said you're going to have to memorize them. All right? So don't ask me on the quiz, can you give us the formula? No, is my answer right now. Everybody got it? Tim, what were you going to say?
Can we like three variables that are cubed?
I mean, you could, but we're not. Okay, we're not going to do that. This is just the 2. Sum of how many? 2 cubes. All right, let's do an example and show you how to do. I'll keep that there as reference. Tell you what, I'm just going to make one up. Okay, here's what it's going to tell you to do. It's going to tell you to factor this. What times what is equal to x cubed minus 64? Do you see how this is one factor, that parentheses? It's being multiplied by another parentheses. Those are my factors, okay? Those are 2 things that multiply together to get this thing right here. So I got to figure out what's going to be multiplied together to get this. Well, how do we start this thing out? Let's do it again. I'll tell you what, I will cover that up. Put the parentheses first, right? That's the first thing I do. So put a small one, put a bigger one. Now let's put the signs in there. Same, opposite, positive. So what's my sign? Minus, then plus, then plus. Say plus or minus. That's what I've been saying. All right, what goes here? The x, because what's being cubed? An x is being cubed. So x goes here. Now, here's where we got to think. Here's where the math comes in a little bit. It's not just all memorization. What is being cubed to give you 64? 8? 8 times 8 times 8? 8 times 8 is 64, but you're finding what is being cubed 3 times. So it's not 8, right? Yeah. What about 4? Does 4 work? 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4, you may not know that in the top of your head, but it is 64. Okay? All right? Everybody with me on that? So 4 is being cubed, because you could write this as 4 cubed, couldn't you? So you'd put the 4 right there. Now, what do you put here? The x squared, right. So whatever this is, you're going to put that squared right here. Let's do the one on the end. So what are we going to put there? 4 squared. What is 4 squared? 4 times 4? 16. So we put a 16 here. So don't write it 4 squared. Actually multiply it together. 4 times 4 is 16. And then what do we do to get that middle one? We take this one and do what to it? Just multiply it together. So what's x times 4? 4x. This is why I wrote ax instead of xa, because you do need to have that. You really should have that number out in front. And that's it. You're done. It's factored. See how easy it is? See, I told you it was kind of easy, didn't I? Yeah. Let's do another one. I'm making one up here. Let's put a plus. Everybody watching? Okay, you're going to factor this. I'll tell you what. I'll give you like 2 minutes. I'll give you 1 minute to factor this. Ready? Go. I'll pause my recording. All right, time's up. So first thing you did is what? Good. Did everybody do that? Yeah, everybody should have done that. And then the next thing everybody should have been able to do is put the signs in. What's that going to be? Plus. Then this is going to be minus, and this is always going to be plus. Okay? These are the only two that can change. Everybody see that? These are the only two that can change. That's always going to be plus. All right? Now, let's take a look at this. What is being cubed to give you 27? 3. Right. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. I mean, it's a relatively small number, so you start with easy numbers, right? Start with 2. What's 2 cubed? 2 times 2 times 2. That's 8. So that's not 8. Try the next one up, right? 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. So that's 3. What's being cubed to give you x cubed? X. So what's being cubed? So what goes here? 3x. It's not that hard, is it? Okay, what about this? We already did this. 8. It's 2. This is 2 cubed, isn't it? So what goes here? 2. Did you get that part? All right. Let's do the rest. If you got this part, the rest of it's not all that bad. So what do I do with that first one right here? I take this and I do what to it? I square it. And I got to square both of these things. Not just the x this time. Got to square them both. So what do I get? 9x squared. You guys watching?
Yeah.
Because I'm squaring this. I'm squaring this thing right here. Okay? So it's 3 squared, which is 9, x squared, which is x squared, 9x squared. What do I do to find this number out here? I take this number and I do what to it? I square it. What's 2 squared? 4. Now, what do I do to the middle? I take these two and do what to them? Just multiply them together. What is that? That's it. And now it's factored. That's your answer right there. I don't think they really get any more difficult than that right there. Let's take a look. Anybody get this on their own in that 1 minute? You did get it exactly that? Okay, good. Well, you didn't get it then. If you didn't square it, you didn't get it. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, let me grab, oops, what am I doing here? I'm going to grab that homework. Let me find it. It's right there. Copy it. Wait till I do this. Paste it. And let me put it to size here. Okay. So let's see, what did I give you? Difference of 2 cubes. I think I gave them all to you, didn't I? So I'm not going to do a whole bunch of these. Maybe we'll do. I don't think it is. Did I say odds? Let me look. I'll look in my lesson plans. Difference of 2. No, it says all. I even capitalized all in the. Well, you're blind then. Okay. It's on RenWeb. It's on fax. Okay. Well, you got to get it to work. You're giving me all these excuses that don't work. All right. You got to get it to work. Here we go. So here's what you're doing. You're doing 33 to 38, and you're doing all of them. All right. There's only, 6 of them, for goodness sake. And I'm talking about these. Okay, 33 to 38, and you're going to do all of them. I don't know. Let's pick one. Let's do 36. Let's do 36. Is that all right? You want to do 34 instead? Why? Because the 125? Well, what do you think cubed is 125? Right, maybe not off the top of your head, but try a few. Well, you know 3's not, because we already did that one. That's 27. You know 4 cubed is 64. So what's the next one? It ends in a 5, right? So try 5. Listen, 5 times 5 is, Timmy, listen to me. I'm still teaching. You guys are going off on your own thing. I'm still up here talking. Thank you. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5. If I have 5 quarters, how much money do I have? I got $1.25, right? 125. So that's how you can do these things. Let's just go through these numbers really quick. What cubed is 27? Real quick.
3.
What about 125?
5.
What about 27?
3.
What about 8?
2.
What about 64? 4. Okay? All right? So you should be able to do all those. They're not giving you outrageously big numbers, are they? They're giving you numbers that you should be able to figure out fairly easily. All right? 36 is a little different because the x isn't first. No, I would do it like this. So watch. Let me change colors here. Let me make this. Oops. Okay. Everybody look at this. So what would you do? Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. So I'm doing 36. So you put your 2 parentheses, one here. Make the second one a little bit bigger, right? Let's put the signs in here. It's minus, so what do we do? Same, opposite, positive. There's no work to show, really. So what's being cubed to give you 27? What's being cubed? Come on, we just went through it. 3. What's being cubed to give you 8x cubed? 2 what? 2x. Okay? So it's a little bit different because the order, right, the x isn't first this time. That's the only thing different. What about this? What do we do? Take that first one, and I do what to it? Square it. What's 3 squared? 9. So there's really no work to show there. You just got to know what 3 squared is. Okay, and then what do you do to this last one over here? What do you do to this stuff right here? Square that. What is that going to give you? 4 what? X squared. Right, because you got to square the x. Now, what do we do in the middle? Take these 2 and just multiply them together. What's that give you? 6x. That's it. That's how you would write it, just like that. Everybody good? All right. I'm not going to do any more. I only gave you 6 to do anyway. I don't want to ruin all the fun. All right, that's your homework, 33 to 38. Have that finished for tomorrow. And then we're going to really get into some stuff. This stuff right here is what I call the normal factoring. I call it trinomial factoring. This doesn't say it. The stuff we've done is kind of, in my mind anyway, I don't think you'll see this in a book or anything, but in my mind, the stuff that we've done up to this point are all kind of specialty kind of factoring, right? They're kind of special factors. This stuff right here, 39 to 50, it's what I think of in my head as, quote, normal factoring, all right, if you want to call it normal. Trinomial factoring. All of these are trinomials, aren't they? See that? They say factor each polynomial, but a lot of books would say factor the trinomials. So this is normal, everyday trinomial factoring. Then we're going to do some factoring by grouping. And then they give you some problems where they just say factor. They don't tell you what kind of factoring it is. You just have to figure it out. All right? It might be one of those specialty ones. It might not. That's where it gets a little bit tricky. Looking at it when they're not telling you it's a difference of two squares. It's a perfect square. It's a sum or difference of two cubes. They're not going to give you that. All right? They're going to eventually just give you a bunch of things and you got to factor them. But we'll do it. We'll talk about those. All right, enough of that.